Book review. This is Never Stop Pushing by Rulon Gardner, who I occasionally, unfortunately, pronounce Rulon Gardner. I blame the Brazilians for that. He was the Olympic gold medalist in Greco-Roman. He beat Alexander Karlin. Probably mispronouncing that. I feel sorry for Alexander Karlin from the way the fight happened, from the way it finished, because the guy was undefeated for 13 years before he got into this. But it's an interesting book. It is a good book. It tells you a lot about how hard Rulon's early days were on a farm. It tells you how difficult his life was going to school with. He had learning difficulties, which obviously when he was in school, learning difficulties weren't really acknowledged as being a thing. You were just told you're stupid. I have a mild form of dyscalculia, so I kind of understand where he's coming from with that. It's horrible when you know you're not stupid, but you can't grasp how something works. He was able to use that as fuel to become an outstanding amateur wrestler. Again, Olympic gold medal, so fucking well done. It does then, he uses kind of as a framing device his nights spent out in the wilderness in sub-zero temperatures where, by all rights, he should have lost some toes and some fingers to frostbite. By all rights, he should have died. If you know what you know about survival and being left out to the elements with certain things like hypothermia, it's amazing he's here at all. So I've got a lot of respect for him. It doesn't go into his MMA career, which was very short-lived. You could probably guess why there's a reason he wouldn't go into his MMA career. It's still worth getting a copy of. As you can see from this bit just here, $1 clearance, dear lord. Yeah, so I got this obviously dirt cheap on certain mad big superstore websites that you can shop at online. May possibly have been one named after a giant river in South America. They usually have books on there for like 1p, £2 for postage and packaging. That's where I buy a lot of my books. I'm not going to lie about that. It has got. I give you a quick spoiler, quick warning. I am about to show footage of his frostbitten toes. So if you don't want to see the picture of his frostbitten feet, look away now. And you're back in the room, 3, 2, 1. You're feeling relaxed. There we go. So it has got pretty gruesome pictures in it. He does go into detail about a lot of stuff. You do, without getting down on the guy, because what he's done in his life, both as a competitive wrestler and as a human being surviving a night in the wilderness, he's accomplished quite amazing things. At the start of his story, where he says he's going on a track he never uses on his snowmobile, a part of me is going, "You fucking idiot! You haven't got proper gloves, you haven't got a proper jacket, you haven't got any layers, you haven't got a beacon that lets anybody know where you are. What the absolute hell are you doing going somewhere you don't usually go?" So do take it as a warning. Don't just do something on a whim. Make sure you've got a plan where people know where you are if you're doing something as dangerous as that could be. Anything you do where it's you in nature, it's super dangerous. Whether it be in the woods when it's snowing, whether it be out on the seas, whether it be up in the hills, wherever, do take care. But again, as a book, as an autobiography, it is pretty good. Not being a massive American farm boy, some of it was a bit gets to the wrestling, but it does paint an overall picture of the guy, so you see who he is and where he was in his own mind at the point in time where it's now a case of you've got to do this, you've got to survive a harsh night in the freezing sub-zero temperatures in the snow. Well worth a read. If you're into wrestling, it's well worth a read. Obviously, the amateur wrestling styles are a big part of our bud, so it is worth getting a copy of. I would say it's yeah. I got my copy dirt cheap, that's why I bought it. Get your copy dirt cheap, but if you like it, recommend it to others.